Hello, and thanks for watching another episode of Arfcom News, your source for the finest 2A propaganda brought to you by TNVC.com. Today I want to tell you about the day gun control failed for all time, how Californistan plans to use a Texas law against gun makers, and why Big Red
This is CNN.
mentioned AR15.com in an article. Remember Jay Stark? He's the inventor of the FGC-9, who was definitely not assassinated by the German government shortly after the Special Einsatzkommando unit raided his home and failed to find any illegal weapons. Yeah, that's right. If you didn't hear, earlier this year, Jay Stark was found in his car 2 days after German police raided his apartment for illegal weapons and found nothing.
You get nothing. You lose!
His invention, the FGC-9, isn't the first fully 3D printed firearm, but it's the first 3D printed firearm which can be assembled without any regulated gun parts and which is also useful as a fighting tool. It was truly groundbreaking when it was first published. Even the barrel can be made at home by printing a plastic mandrel to hold the conductors to machine rifling in a smooth pipe by electrochemical discharge. And now, the FGC-9 has been photographed in the field in use by Myanmar rebels fighting their oppressive government. This is it. This is the shot heard round the world. This is that singularity, that watershed moment in history that future generations will point to as the moment gun control died. Until this moment, it was all hypothetical. The idea that ideas are infectious and you can't stop the signal. The idea that oppressed people can always make their own weapons. But with this one photo, all those idealistic theories are crystallized. And this is just the beginning. Jay Stark has become more powerful than you can possibly imagine, and his legacy will be carried on by other imaginative creators. We're starting to see viable recreations of AR pattern rifles, SETMEs, and, of course, Glocks. There are also designs out there for silencers and red coat hangers, and all sorts of other naughty things. As printing materials get stronger and precision gets finer, we'll see even more useful designs. And while I would never condone lawless behavior, this whole thing has been well beyond the grasp of legislative power for years. Of course, clueless politicians are still furiously trying to stuff that genie right back into the bottle, but that's only because they are stupid old men who don't understand what the internet is. Well, that didn't take long.
And it's gone.
Californistan intends to target gun makers with laws patterned after the Texas law, which allows anyone to sue abortion providers. Now, before you go all Mad Max in the comments, this story isn't about abortion, and this channel focuses on covering gun rights issues. This story is about how gun control proponents plan to use this same strategy, and I'm here to tell you, this really came out of nowhere. If only someone had warned us exactly this sort of thing would happen. Back in October, the Firearms Policy Coalition filed an amicus brief in a suit opposing SB 8 in Texas, which allows private citizens to sue abortion providers. FPC wasn't taking a side on the abortion issue itself, of course, but they took issue with the way the law weaponizes courts and predicted the strategy would be used against gun makers as well. Immediately after the Supremes upheld the Texas law, 80s movie villain and part-time Cylon Gavin Newsom announced he would do exactly that by pressing the legislature to pass a law allowing Calistani subjects to sue anyone who makes or sells so-called assault weapons or ghost guns. It's not even Spooktober. I'm not a lawyer because there are some things even I wouldn't do for a Klondike bar, but it seems like this might even have the potential to reach outside Californistan if Calistani subjects sue gun makers in other states. Ted Turner's favorite fake news legacy media platform gave a small shout out to little us in an article positively gloating about how tech giants have attempted to shut out dissenting voices from the marketplace of ideas. You'll remember a while back our domain registrar GoDaddy dropped us without notice or justification, and we had to switch AR15.com over to Epic. There was a brief disturbance in the force, but all was right in a couple of days, and users were back to arguing whether beans belong in chili. Based on that incident, CNN lumped us together with white nationalists, claiming we have a history of being deplatformed, and said we spread hate and dangerous misinformation and incite violence.
Amazing. Every word of what you just said was wrong.
Other than my hate for 300 Blackout and 1911s, nobody can accuse Arfcom of spreading hate. And aside from occasional posts where some smooth brain tells people to use birdshot for home defense, nobody can accuse us of spreading dangerous misinformation. Likewise, nobody can accuse us of inciting violence, unless you want to count that savage beating you guys gave to the AFT comment period for receivers and braces. Finally, we don't have a history of getting dumped either. We dumped her. CNN went on to gloat about how Epic was disavowed by the city where their headquarters are located, and how Epic was hacked back in September, and all those dirty wrong-thinkers were doxxed. Now, I'm just a simple country YouTuber, but I think it's pretty cool the old king of legacy media noticed us before they shuffle off this mortal coil. Well, friends, that's all I have for you today, but before you go, I just want to take the time to remind you to please check and see whether you're still subscribed to our channel. Our robot overlords in the tube of views know what we want better than we could possibly know for ourselves, so they just go ahead and unsubscribe viewers from any channels they think express wrongthink, like our own. Now, you folks out there in TV land know censorship makes puppies cry, and Captain America is very disappointed. So don't forget to check every now and then just to be sure you're still subscribed to us. While you're at it, make sure you click that notification bell so you never miss a word of our gun rights propaganda. And if you want to get email alerts for the best deals, the projects we're working on, and the hottest stuff you missed on the Arfcom forums, you'll also find a Linktree link down there in the doobly-doo for our newsletter. And remember, if you want to help us keep bringing you banger content like this, please support the folks who support us. Not only does TNVC.com give you night vision with that cool, refreshing, never bitter taste that goes down smooth, they also have mounts, lights, training, and all sorts of gear to make you the bump in the night. I love you.